Hello, I'm Trista. Here I'm with my colleague Guy Ben. We are going to demonstrate you the smart network operation in airports. The private 5G network is providing a more reliable and dedicated connection for the enterprises like airport, port, manufacturing, factory, etc. Together with IoT, sensor, digital twin-based technologies are together transforming the enterprises into Industry 4.0. But there is one problem we are seeing. While the enterprises adopting the private 5G network, they don't have the in-depth knowledge about how to operate the network. They are struggling with dealing with the network operation problems. Probably 80% of the problems happening every day are quite basic. So here we wanted to demonstrate how a technology we are developing together with Snowflake to help them to transform the way they can operate the industry like airport, port, etc., as mentioned previously. So in this technology or in this solution, we are leveraging multiple components. In the demo, all the data you are seeing are sitting with Snowflake. This solution can work wherever your data is sitting. And we are using AWS IoT Twin Maker to get the digital twin up, while the Amazon Bedrock is used to create or enable the generative AI component where you can talk to in natural language. All the things you will be seeing here are powered by Amazon Managed Grafana from the UI perspective. Here I will hand over to my colleague Guy to take you through the demo.
Thank you, Tristan. Right, so here we have a digital twin that we've built with AWS IoT Twin Maker. You can see here a 3D model of one of the airports. This is the Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. And you can see that I have a high-level overview of the airport, and I see that there is a specific issue in a specific terminal. You can see the red color. So if I scroll down here, you can see the terminal view, right? So we are actually mapping 3D objects on the terminal itself, and we are also simulating 5G private network traffic, and we are mapping the traffic to those objects to understand if there are any issues and challenges when it comes to the private network itself. So you can see that we have small objects here. Those are the radio cells, which are currently colored green, right? So the green color means that those are turned on, and we have a yellow cell, which is a capacity cell, which is currently turned off. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see those Grafana dashboards. Those are the actual KPIs that are coming from the private network in the airport. This is actually simulated in the background, and you can see the different metrics as the KPIs that are coming. From a network operation perspective, the folks in the airports, they're obviously not very much familiar with the different radio KPIs because they're not, let's say, a telco provider. And the only intention is to see how can we help them better understand what's happening in the network from capacity planning perspective as well as from network operation perspective. Now, what we are going to do now, we are going to show you how you can combine generative AI using AWS and Amazon Bedrock to actually communicate with the 3D model. So first of all, I can start from the first scenario, which is a capacity planning scenario. I can ask Bedrock, for example, questions like, what type of events are happening on the week of the 26th? So the model will come and say, one of the main events is Mobile World Congress. Okay, so I'm saying if from a network operation perspective, if I have Mobile World Congress, how many flights are expected, for example, on the 2nd of March? And Bedrock will come and say, there is a large amount of passengers, 12,960. So I said, okay, looks like a lot of passengers are going to come through the arrival terminal. So can you please simulate 2x amount of traffic in my terminal? Because I want to see how that will impact my private network. So what I'm saying here is that Bedrock, once Trista asked the question, Bedrock is saying, I'm going to trigger a simulation for 2x traffic. And when I look here on the KPIs, you can see that I have a reduction now in the setup success rate because I have a lot of people in the arrival terminal, which for some reason cannot connect to the radio. I have an increase in a number of connected users. From a network operation perspective, I'm saying, okay, I have an issue here. How can that be resolved? I can talk to the model and say, can you please turn on cells 21, 22, and 23 in Terminal 2? So the model is now triggering an API. You can see that one of the capacity cell color changed from yellow to green. And you can see that the success rate is now stabilized and things are back to normal. So from a network operation perspective, you don't need to be a radio expert because you're just communicating with the large language model in a natural plain English to get the relevant answers and recommendations about the network operation side of things. The last thing that we are doing is that we are asking the model to provide a summarization email to the network operation team with exactly the same issue that happened, how did we mitigate that. So that's the last part of the demo. And I'll hand it over now to Trista to summarize.
So just now we are showing a demo about the capacity planning, but the same way or solution will be able to help us to solve problem like when you are seeing there's some degradation in the KPIs in the airport, how the operation engineer can use the assistant as well as together with the digital twin to help them to do the troubleshooting. We believe that this solution will be able to help them to solve most of the problems they could be facing every day in their day in, day out operation. And imagine another scenarios, right? In an airport, when there is some emergency happening and we wanted to see clear footage of certain cameras with digital twin and an agent assisting us, we can ask them to give us a network slicing, which can providing us a high throughput for us to sitting in a control room to see what is happening in every corner of the airport. We believe this solution will be able to help the enterprises to easily operate their network in their infrastructure. And for the operators, right, no matter they wanting to offer this kind of solution as a managed service or as an add-on value-add service to their enterprise customers, this can be the way to differentiate them from the others from the private 5G network connectivity provider perspective. Thank you very much.